Welcome back to the Spegroon Documentary Series. In this episode, we'll be touring all of the lands north of Clow. But before we do that, we'll have an interview with a very important person on the server, Lord Bug, better known as Steve. Oh, is it?
It won't take input from the mouse and the keyboard at the same time, apparently. I'm also like 8,000 blocks away from everybody else, so... No, the one with the portal. The entrance is like hidden in the hill. There's a room right underneath the hill, and then that goes down to a room with the nether portal. Like, you passed through it, or you...
Yeah, wait. Okay, I'm at the second one, but the highway keeps going.
Welcome. Village is over here.
Whoa! Nice.
Yeah. I found out while doing this that once you reach 5 villagers, it'll spawn an iron golem.
Where's
to protect the...
Oh my god, he just got struck by lightning.
Are you fucking serious?
I just got struck by lightning too. And how...
No shit.
There's a slab here. How did that even happen?
That's not true. You can keep taking the ice bridge. Oh, there's a second iron golem over there.
What's down here? Is this safe?
It's just my strip mine.
Oh, okay. Oh, there goes sticky keys.
Stuck. But, this is what I was working on for a while. Right at the end. Like, right towards the end of last season. Blake was the one that told me to use... to, like, build an ice highway.
Yeah.
I don't use that one very much. Most of the time while I was building this, I just slept with the villagers. 10, 11, something like that? 12 villagers? Because there's a village over that way. Like in the direction of the village that I built, there's an actual village.
Yeah.
Over in the forest. Fuck, there we go.
So what all have you accomplished on Spegroon?
I've built a pretty cool castle. And, I mean, I've set up this whole place. I established that, the welcome building right by spawn.
Yeah.
I built a rail system. Well, it's not there anymore, but I built a rail system to go from my settlement to, the big city. That rail is no longer there, and neither is that tunnel. I filled in that tunnel.
Yeah, I heard and saw.
A lot of destruction that's not there anymore. Like I feel like most of that destruction's been repaired, but I'm responsible for a decent amount of explosions.
Yeah, there's my area in the food court and the hole is still burned.
Oh, yeah. There's a cave spider farm somewhere that doesn't work anymore, I don't think. I think they changed water mechanics and it broke it. But I built that, and then there's this ice highway that goes several thousand blocks. I've found like 5 or 6 different ocean monuments. I had a list of them somewhere, but I helped Blake with the end farm.
So, what's your first memory of Spegroon?
Spawning in, you guys giving me the coordinates for the big city, me checking my coordinates going, that's really fucking far away, and then dying a lot trying to get there, finding a giant tower of cactus and saying, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna live here. And then built my first house, which I ended up tearing down when I was ready to build the castle, but built my first house. And then eventually I made it back to Cloud. But yeah, it was the fact that I kept dying. Because I joined the server, like, right before nighttime. So I had nothing. And then would have had to travel, like, 1,100 blocks on foot in the dark with no bed in order to make it to civilization. And I was like, fuck that. I'm going to settle down right here.
Yeah, you just make your own house.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite moment or plot line on the server?
I think the most fun was when I blew up the courthouse.
Which time? It wasn't there multiple times?
Not that I blew it up. I only blew up the courthouse once.
Oh yeah, you just rigged it the other time, right?
I built the second courthouse with some TNT in the floor, which I'm still proud of and would do again. And I hold that nobody could charge me with treason. Or no, not treason. Terrorism. Terrorism was the charge. And my main defense of that is, how is it terrorism if nobody knew? You don't know what my intentions were to do with it, but you know that I wasn't terrorizing anybody. Because to terrorize people, they have to know that there's a threat.
I mean, I guess that's true, yeah.
Yeah, that was gonna be my defense in that court case, and then Blake ended up, he was the judge, and then I didn't end up having to use my defense because Aaron kind of fucked himself in the court case. But that was gonna be my defense, and I still feel like it's a pretty solid defense. So I just did it, and then ran off. And this was when, like, I had built that underground room that you went through to get here. I had dug that out and put the I don't think I had the portal there yet, but I had like a bed and a chest and that sort of thing. So I blew up the thing and then hopped on the rail and went home, like as quick as I could. Grabbed like all my valuable shit, a bunch of food. Like, I emptied out my house, and then this ended up being probably the biggest reason that I moved into the castle and built the castle, was because I completely gutted that house. I wrecked the farm and then went into the underground room, the hidden room, and like established myself down there in like a hidey hole.
Dude, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. That was one of those moments that it was like, I wish that we had like just some sort of like autonomous spectator bot or something like that followed people around recording, because
Yeah.
I was dead silent the whole time it was happening, and I just went and hid. That was a lot of fun.
So who do you see yourself as on the server? Like, what type of character?
The easy answer is terrorism, or a terrorist, but I don't think I am, because like, I just wanted to build a railroad that was better than the railroad we had, because the railroad we had got me killed a bunch, and I was tired of it.
Yeah.
So I put it underground, and then everyone gave me shit because I put it underground. But like, I don't know. The Romans hated Jesus, didn't they?
Some Romans did, yes.
Well, I mean, I've got the whole cult following.
So you're just Jesus. I can see that, honestly, with everything you've been involved with.
Yeah, like I said that half as a joke, but I think like it might be fair. Like, not quite, because obviously I did blow up the church, but
So why do you play on Spegroon?
Partly because it's more fun than just playing Minecraft on my own. Playing with other people and seeing other people's shit. Partly because processing and graphics and shit like that wise, it's better than playing on my own saves, because half of the work is being done by a server somewhere else.
Yeah.
So like, I can have better render distance, better graphics quality, and that sort of shit with a bad computer. Um, but like that's a nice side benefit.
So
Or
what do you see the future of Spegroon like?
I mean, well, that depends. Um, I've separated from Clow, both politically and geographically, um, which wasn't how I wanted it. I didn't want to be separated. I wanted to be part of the city, which is why I built that statue. Originally, the plan had been that I was going to build a statue of everybody on the server, and like line the outside of the wall with these big statues. But nobody. I think Aaron might have been the only one to send me his skin. Oh shit! I just got kicked. Fuck. My internet is shit. But anyways, should I wait until I come back?
Yeah, you're back. You're good.
Oh, okay. So I feel like the Clow election, whatever that is, however that's going to work, that's going to be fairly important. Because there's a couple ways that it could go.
Especially with those Salonians, too.
Yeah. It's like if Blake is allowed to run, I feel like that would, like, if I had a vote, which I was told that I didn't. Jesus Christ. If Blake's able to run, he would have my vote. And I feel like with him in charge, this could have a pretty good, like we'd go into a good age. Maybe there'd be some reunification. I know there's never a shortage of people wanting villagers.
Yeah, that's true, especially when they die the second that they get into the city.
Yeah. So, but for the moment, I'll probably be up here, just minding my own business. I'm gonna automate my farm eventually. I want to expand the village a little bit better, get more villagers, that sort of shit. Probably start working on some redstone.
Alright. Do you have any closing words for the good people?
May the Brotherhood of the Bug bless the server and bring everybody prosperity and peace. Otherwise, I'll blow your ass up.
Alright, let's set off on our journey. Today we will be touring all of the northern realms of Clow. That includes Record Munchet County, Deadsvale, Lord Bug's Place, Valeria, the Spawns, and all the little tiny settlements in between. Basically this whole area of the map. This one's going to be a banger, so let's set out, fly on down to the path leading out of Electro. This path takes us directly to Lord Bug's Empire, which is where we will be headed first, after some other minor pit stops. Just a fun note about this path, I just like walking down it sometimes. It's very peaceful. Mobs almost never attack you, even during night. And you get beautiful views like this one, the moon setting perfectly between the two peaks right there. You can also see part of the river racecourse, and there's this hill here, which I imagine just archers posted up blocking potential invaders from this side of the island. Or continent, not island. Well, I mean, if we zoom out... Okay, it's... we actually can't determine if this is a continent or an island yet. We're fairly certain it's... the whole world is just one big continent with inland lakes. But we could never be for sure if that's true or not. Anyway, if we head down here, just another little spot where I imagine building something one day, because it's just a nice little spot along the path. And we're going to take a slight detour over to the right here. Not there, that's Valeria, a place Blake built. We'll get there soon. But over here is actually a spider farm that Lord Bug / Steve has set up. The best entrance is through here. He normally just accesses it via his railway. And I don't think he's used it in a while. I remember the update. He said something about the update breaking it. I'm not sure if that's entirely the truth, or if there's just part of it not working, or if he just didn't understand what the water update was about. But here, Cave Spider Farm. At first, I mocked the farm because it wasn't a very good farm for XP. But I later realized now that you get a shit ton of string out of this. Like, the string alone is probably the best part. Because you get stacks and stacks of string, and most traditional mob farms can't get that. He also has a chamber in here. Yeah, that's just like a regular mob spawner. So he has both styles right next to each other. Kind of an ideal AFK spot. Anyway, let's head up on out of here. Also, there was a railway entrance somewhere down there. But, oh no, it's right here. And I think this leads back to his base, but I honestly don't know. Can never really tell with most of these rails. We could take it back, but we're actually gonna head out this way. Just bust on out of there. Because there's more things in the Outer Realms. So yeah, back on the path here, there's a couple things in the Outer Realms, just in the general vicinity that I have to show off. First is just all this prime real estate. Like, I imagine this would be a very, very popular building center in the future, especially for new players, because it's very close to the spawn, which is right over there. But yeah, tons of just flat, arable land. Over here is the base I set up during the Prismatic Sun. I used to have stone brick walls, but then I tore those down because I kind of needed them. But it still has a couple furnaces, the staircases. People still stop by. It's like an ancient ruin of sorts. Further on this way, we see a house set up by my friend Holtberg, Jacob Holtberg. Hasn't played much on the server, but he's still participated, you know, that's what's important. Here's just a snow shack I built while he was making his house. Not much of note. Kind of has a weird Mickey Mouse face thing going for it. Over here is his house, and I don't actually remember how to get in. I'm pretty sure there's some sort of secret button or lever, but maybe it's remove the torch? No. There was some really cool secret way, or maybe... No, I thought you set up a comparator to check if there was coal. But we'll just bust down the door, since that's a lot easier. And yeah, there's a secret chamber in here. Still hasn't done much with it. But yeah, that lever will move it, and I'm pretty sure there's an AND gate that lets you open it from this side, but I can't for the life of me remember what it is. Anyways, closer to X-Lots here, we get to a large pit dug out by Lord Bug himself. It's made sort of to rival the hole, I believe, although the hole is much nicer and rounder and far, far more iconic. This is just a footnote in history compared to it. Also, a very, very important note. Very important. This is the Wall of Clow. You might be thinking, oh, but the city's all the way over there. This wall extends from here, goes up and around, cuts through the swamp here, goes all the way around here, and then follows the mountain line to a small camp up there. Goes all the way around, I think steers clear of Salonia, somewhere in this area. I don't even remember. Oh yeah, it ends right here. I think Salonia is part of it, which is going to cause issues, I know. And then you can see from here, it extends... Well, it will extend off Record Munchin County. I know it's going this direction somewhere. Yeah, there's a... It's right here, yes. If you follow this, it's right along here. It's a very, very large wall. There's also a section of it here that's splitting up Clow into a greater region rather than just a city, which I think is going to be interesting. Mainly because Aaron can't even finish the inner walls of the city, so who expects him to actually finish a wall that goes all the way around an entire continent / island, since obviously we don't know if it's continent or island yet. Back here on the path, we're actually going to head into Lord Bug's place. This was built around Season 2 or 3 when he settled. And it was right next to the spawn. He actually just started building here. Over here is his famed Lord Bug rail system. Had ways to go to Valeria, Clow, Cave Spider Farm, a couple other destinations until Aaron actually destroyed the rails, as seen in the previous video about the conflicts. Up here is just a splitter section. Down here, I think this is just a way to access some mines. Yeah, not much of note. Over here, you can see he started building some sort of I think they're like spaceships. Very curious architecture, I'd say. And we don't really know why he started building them. Over here, here's just some microbiomes that got blown up. I don't even remember when. This place has had a number of just terrorist attacks happen in it. Over here is a water elevator that lets you just go up there, get a good view of the city. Over here is just where he keeps his horses. But he has since... Well, I'll reveal that in a bit. Here's his great temple that he has built. Large areas to walk around in. But yeah, this is what Clow used to look like, actually. Maps haven't been updated in a while, and you can see it actually had some really nice features. Like, you can tell that the wall wasn't as high up because of the design we had on it. There's a number of things missing, like the giant tree in the middle, and, oh yeah, the entire Great Wheat Field hasn't been flattened out yet. No outer walls either. This was a good time. This was a good time before the city got more walls added. And up here, I believe, is just an AFK fishing area for him. Anyway, headed downward, you can see some sort of... I think this is like a sorting system he was trying to set up. Because if you look under here, this is some complex redstone. He's got a piston... redstone blocks, hoppers. Wait, is this an item duper? I don't even know. I don't even know what this stuff is. That's beyond me. Anyway, let's head on out of Lord Bug's empire and head to another nearby empire. Valeria. The base right over there in the jungle. That place was built by Blake, a good friend of the server, someone who's appeared in the lore from time to time. Quite a ways away, actually. You think it's really close, but on the map, there's actually a pretty good distance, about the distance from Reaver's Vale to Clow. on the walk up, you can see a lot of the lighting details and a lot of the care that was put into this place, like the vines on the outside, very detailed and ornate. And we head in. As you can see, a lot of complex architecture here. Let's start off by headed this way. There's just a couple of various houses in the area. There's one up there. It's just empty, but it's cool to look at. Another house here, empty. Here is... Okay, maybe this is worse than Jesse's chicken farm, because they're all just stacked right up on top of each other. Head down, there's another house, and if we jump in the water, we can actually see he's farmed the land down here. Carrot farm, cactus, sugarcane, all sorts of stuff. And there's a staircase up. You can head up, although you can probably just climb most of these vines anyway. This was actually the first Blake. Blake, your name is just cursed. Like, I cannot pronounce any sentences with it. This is the first base built by Blake. Among other... Well, he did technically have his house in Cloud, but that wasn't a full-on base like this is. Up here, there's more storage. I think this was his main crafting area. There's more stuff over there, but what we're interested in is climbing all the way to the top. Or just flying, since that's a way faster means of travel. Up here we get to this... I like to think of it almost like a UFO at the top. Just because of how it looks from below. I don't really know for what this was built. I know it was built to look cool, but... Like, what functionality would this actually have? Maybe like a PvP arena, or like a meetup spot? Something like that. And now, we interview Blake.
What about at the top of the flying saucer?
Yeah, we could do that.
Alright, let's go.
God, dude, I hate... Oh, yeah, fuck you.
So, what all have you accomplished on Spegroon?
Spegroon? Oh, God, I've done Valyria. I've done a little bit of my strip mines going almost 10,000 blocks in each direction. I built my house in Clow in the mountain. That was pretty great. At the same time, I've built relationships with people. That's the biggest thing I've done.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Some not so great, like you and Jeremy.
Oh yes, of course. The man burned down my house. That's why I had to leave.
What is your first memory of Spegroon?
Oh goodness, my first real memory of Spegroon is finding the origin of Clow. We hadn't built the walls, we hadn't built any houses. You got there and you're just like, hey, this would be a really cool place. And then we started settling and we started building and just kept adding and adding and adding on. Yeah.
Are you
that
about
was
to
my
say
first memory.
something sad because it started raining?
But after it got added on, we separated. We all went our own separate ways. I built my castle. But for what?
So, what's your favorite moment or plotline on the server?
Ooh. My favorite moment is also a part of the plot line. It's when Jared and the Prismatic Sun were accomplishing their goals.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing. I just remembering of how everybody was flipping shit. It was amazing.
I'd say that's one of my favorite memories, too.
Yeah, that or One of my favorite memories is probably when, after I got done building my walls for Valyria, and I took a step back and I looked at this tree over here at the very top of it, and I was actually, for the first time, I appreciated what I had built.
So who do you see yourself as on the server?
An entrepreneur! Honestly, I've been very generous to everybody on the server so far. I've given materials. I've done everything that I can to help somebody if they need help. I've not really created bad ties other than Jeremy, but even then, I didn't start that. Jeremy did, and even now, Jeremy and I we're close. We're brothers in the battlefield.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say I'm a benefactor, an entrepreneur, a friend.
Let me ask you this. Why do you play on Spegroon?
I play on Spegroon because I love Minecraft. I've been playing Minecraft for 10 years now. I first started playing in alpha, and it's just been a game where you can really be yourself and just in a creative sense, as well as the fact of Spegroon being able to do stupid things with all of my friends and be able to make things like statues of Melvin and
it's Delvin.
Oh, Delvin! Oh.
No, don't jump! Don't jump!
This is why I play Minecraft.
Okay, wait. Before you commit suicide, what do you see the future of Spegroon like? Oh my god.
The future of Spegroon. I honestly think there's a lot of ways that it could go, just depending on who continues to play and who's being added from time to time. You know, there's a lot of things that can be done. There's, you know, we can all build cities like this, just jungle cities, and have houses that anybody could go to. We could have cities in the mountains, like Zach. We could build another city like Clow, or we could build a flying city like Electra with you. And that's what's amazing. It just depending on the people who's playing and depending on how we play, that's what makes it awesome, is that it's just curiosity.
Do you have any final closing statements?
Spegroon has been what has been the Minecraft server that I've played on the most. It's been the Minecraft server that I've had the most fun on, and it's been the Minecraft server that I will never forget. I'm glad that I've played for so long, and I hope that with future updates we continue to play, honestly.
Anyways, we're gonna fly on down to the new spawn now. The new spawn, as mentioned previously, was changed around Season 2 once the world file was... Well, not the world file, but the server file was lost, and we only had the world file left. Very, very small spawn. I actually want to expand it in the future. There's just a basic rules board, free items that no one wants, and a basic intro all the way back from Season 3. So yeah, this area definitely needs updated. But it's all built by hand, too. No creative mode. I know a lot of servers like to build their central spawns in creative, but that's just not how we want to do it. We want to have it all natural. Let's fly on over to a couple of bases in the swamp over here. Not too far. This is actually pretty close to the original spawn, which we'll stop by. As you can see, more of the wall just extends from here, along with a witch's hut. If we head over here... Oh, jeez. We can see my base in the swamp. I actually forget. I had a special name for it, but I can't remember what it was. All I remember was booting this up on like a cold winter's night, and I don't think anyone wanted to play, so it was just me building this house here. And I remember people always come by and steal all the food out here. Like, I've resupplied this place at least 3 different times, and everyone always steals the food. Also, this is someone's horse. It's not mine, and it's unnamed. So, please pick up your item from the bagging area. Other than that, there's only one other thing in the swamp, and that's this way. Aaron just has a small little outpost here. Built this a long time ago. I think Season 1 hasn't really had a purpose so far. I think he built this because he's trying to connect the waterways of everything. So I think he built this as a strait that can go out along the wall here and then out to the greater ocean. Not exactly sure how boats could get to Clow from here, but I'm pretty sure he's going to dig some sort of canal out. Because he also plans to do it on this side and cut some sort of canal through here out into the greater ocean. Now, let's... Oh, by the way, he has a giant pit here, which I think I hit him down once. Other than that, we'll head over to where the original spawn was, right over here. In a second. Oh god, now I'm getting assaulted. Perfect. Alright, but in here, it's just a rail station. Not much really happened here. It was just me and Jared who spawned here originally, and we actually dug out most of this ravine. And that's how the start of the world was. I placed this netherrack, I think when I escaped from the nether, when they tried to seal me in, but don't quote me on that. Also, I'm getting assaulted by zombies. Fortunately, Aaron didn't destroy this part of the rail, so we can actually get away on it. I remember placing these rails a very long time ago, like 2 years ago, all the way to Clow. It'll only get us halfway there now, though. But hey, it's better than walking. Or, I mean, I could just fly, but this is actually a very historic part of the game, because a lot of people either followed the rails to Clow, via just walking, or some of them were lucky enough to have a minecart. Most of the minecarts just got stolen, though. Not much building has actually happened in these woods. This is another interesting location where I think building could happen. Oh, we're getting up to the bridge. This takes us up to the mountain. Yep. Here we are. And Aaron cut the rails. Or Lord Bug cut the rails. I'm not exactly sure. At one point, someone stopped connecting this part of the world through here. So now we just gotta walk around. Over here, is an area my friend Snetty built. It's just like a little mine quarry thing. That's all he did. I made him wear an Ender Dragon head the whole time he played, just because I thought it'd be funny, but hasn't done much other than that, and I don't think that's a very efficient way of mining. Over here, we can actually just walk across the hills. There also used to be like an entire bridge across here, but it's since been cut off. And down here is a cat that Blake claims to be his, Garfield. Even though, like, I originally had a cat named Garfield on the server, so he's sort of like stealing my idea. So I could kill this right now. But I won't, because I'm not a monster, unlike Blake. Anyway, opinions aside, if we head through here, this is actually the Lord Bug train system. It was a little subway thing that let you look up and out of it. We can get to the Nut Shack, which is just over the hill. I've explained the lore of the Nut Shack before, but For those of you who have actually watched everything and can't remember it all, obviously, the Nut Shack was built by me during the Prismatic Sun saga, where I became a terrorist. Prismatic Sun will never set. If we head down here, sorry Aaron, but I have to show this off, there's actually a mob farm, a skeleton farm down here. Yep. There's an auto kill mode, which just grabs the drop, so you can turn it into an XP farm if you want. There's a little area to wait in here, and he actually built his own enchanting table, which is a lot better than most residents of Clow. But yeah, you could farm skeletons here, and I think if you stand like right here, they can shoot at you. Although they're just attacking each other now, so can't show that off. Now that we're out of the Nut Shack, let's head across the river and over the hill to one of my more ambitious builds on the server. If we pop out of... Oh! What just hit me? He doesn't have a trident. Okay, that's different. That's unique. Anyway, if we head across here... Oh, this I built during the Prismatic Sun. This is the nether portal people chased me into. We head on out to the drift track. I built this a while ago. It looks sort of like a tentacle. That's sort of unintentional. But I built this because how boats work on ice. They actually become slippery, and they actually have drift mechanics where they keep their angular momentum. So you can do cool tricks like this. It takes a little while to get used to, but once you're attuned to it, it's actually really fun to go around the track. I'm also thinking of sort of doing some sort of redstone mechanism over this, where it opens up into like an arena above it, sort of like how a Roman Colosseum, you hear tales of it at least, how it could open up and there'd actually be a section for like water fights below just like a regular ground. That's what I imagined this being like. And sorry, because that was probably very disorientating for everyone who just watched that. Anyway, I think it's this way to Dead's Vale? Oh, yeah. It is this way. Or not. Or, yes, it is. Okay, good. So my friend named Deads, got on the server at one point, and he just played for a while, you know, hung out with everyone. A lot of cobblestone architecture, reminds me of the walls of Clow. And he just had a simple house set up. The basics, you know, not much going on. Very nice wall, though, although he's not very protected from invaders on this side, and especially from people dropping down from above. He has a variety of farms. He has melon, wheat, a couple of mines. There's one there and one there. I mainly like the architecture of this wall here, because it's like an actual wall that's built to defend things, unlike the walls of Clow, which are there to maybe keep things in more than keep things out, surprisingly. As we come around the corner here, we can see the remains of Record Munchin County. This place used to be built by my friend Jesse, but then he blew it up and then moved away for whatever reason. I think he just didn't like the way it looked. Then I sort of... Well, actually, no. Daniel of Salonia rigged it with TNT and blew it up. Even worse than it was before. As you can see, there's just holes everywhere. Before it was just the small section in the center. But now it's been entirely cleared out. There ain't nothing here now. If we look around, it's just empty. Empty. Down in here, By the way, he sort of dug this out like a maze. Like, I don't exactly know where I'm going when I'm walking around here. Which I guess could be part of why he blew it up and ran away. Like, down here, I don't even remember what that is. It's complicated. And not in, like, the hermit tunnel kind of complicated. Like, its own kind of complicated. And then there's just these different, like, housing units. Maybe he planned to put villagers in there, but I really don't know what he was planning. Because he moved out before he could get much done with the place. Anyway, if we head out through here, we can look at our last thing on the list. This is actually all of the Northern Realms. Didn't take us up as much time as I thought it would. Over here is a barbarian camp that I built outside of Clow. I just built it just sort of on a whim, you know. Just looking for a small build project. Saw the hill here and thought, hey, it'd be cool if I put something up there. It's sort of inspired by a barbarian encampment from Civ 5, yeah. Or any of the Civ games. But mainly Civ 5, because that's the one I like to play the most. Yeah, all the necessities. You got a fire pit, watchtower, armor, an anvil, which I'm surprised has not been stolen, knowing some of the people that play on here. Just like a little jail cell holding. You know, the basics. But yeah, that'll actually do it for this episode. On the next episode, we'll be headed over to Akina, all the way south here, and Salonia, all the way in the west. I will see you then, gamers.